I'm not very much with allegories or with gurus or with ways to do it or how to. If you like it, do it more. If you don't like it, stop it and change. There isn't anything more than that. Hi, I'm Gino Hollander. I'm 81 years old, born in 1924, and I'm a painter. Put it together. Chispas are like lightning strikes and whatnot, but the chispas de la vida referred to those special moments in life, that excess, that certain somethings that happen that make life really tasty. You never expect them, they just come up. They make life, chispas de la vida. My first taste of adventure was the joining the ski troops. It turned out to be that too, in spades. We were in the hot and heavy of it all. Everything was going worse, worse, and worse yet. It hadn't made the turnaround. Somewhere in, I think, January or February 1943, they wanted to go directly from Camp Hale to Aspen, which is about 45 miles as the crow flies. And they wanted to make it hard on top of it. You take an azimuth, boom, and that's it, and you go that way. And we did it. And we went out, and everybody made it, and it was a bitch. I mean, it was a bitch. It was a full pack, 90-pound pack. This is midwinter. We were 40 degrees below zero or more. I think it was 4 days in a row. But the thrill of just being there and doing this impossible thing and doing it. I mean, 90 pounds is a lot of weight with 118 pounds in your body. And it was wonderful. And we rolled in to Aspen. And what a town. That mountain was looking up there. The Roche Run had been cut already. I don't know why I loved it, but I did the whole thing. I loved it up in the wilderness, and even the war overseas. I had no regrets about the entire thing going.
Shortly before Christmas, 1943, General Eisenhower made a tour of the front lines in Italy. Our advance against the enemy was proceeding slowly, and in many places was bogged down owing to the weather.
In our summer clothes, like it's a big surprise, they sent us over to Italy. And we landed on Christmas Day of 1944 in Naples, and freezing. And then up to Pisa and right up on the line.
The Italian campaign was ranked with the toughest waged in the war. The terrain was treacherous. The physical problem of moving forces of men and quantities of equipment in the rugged country was an enormous one.
You learn how to survive. You're lucky, that's all. Nothing gets you surviving in a war except luck. May the 1st, 1945, I had entered a tunnel along with my whole company and another company, and an enemy artillery piece came rocketing right in, exploded in the tunnel, killed a great number of us, wounded almost everybody, me included. So we managed to get out of there and put our people into a landing craft that went off, and it got hit by shells, sank the thing, and I don't know how many killed. So that's, yeah, I remember the next day the war was over. Yeah. I didn't find painting until I was 38 years old. And so you got to stay loose, or else nothing breaks in, nothing changes. So if you get a brush, you know, and I mean, you can start out on a cheap pure bristle made in Indonesia, okay, for $2.50 or something. But if you paint with it and it dries, you know, with your paint, you end up with something, you know, that's like a rock and it has edges to it, and you stick this into India ink, it's going to do things as you go. And it's going to do things that you don't know about. And then, but pretty soon, move and so on, and some very nice things are going to come up that you couldn't have dreamt of in a million years. It's partially physical. I mean, literally the movement of the body and the ability, everything. When you're painting, you're going like this. You're You're reaching, but in the reaching, your muscles are reaching, your body is moving, your head is never thinking, or my head is never thinking. It's the one thing that's not allowed in the painting, is literally thinking. I don't look. I don't want to see anything. I want to be involved in it, just as I were just lost in the woods, or whatever happens, or in the darkness of the sky, of a winter sky or something. Just involved in it, in a painting. What I choose to paint the things that have feelings in life. I paint women. That's number one. It could stop there, you know, but I paint women, especially young women. I think they're great. I think all women are great. So, you know, I paint the things that have an emotional base to me and feeling, and I express my life through them. And I don't listen very much when critics are talking either. Paintings are for looking at. Somebody paints and somebody looks. I've traveled all of the United States. I just don't know of any place that does it for me quite like this. And really what I came back for had nothing to do with the city. It had to do with the wilderness surround. And boy, did I find it. To me, there is a nature to things, the nature, the magnificence of nature itself. There is no pretentiousness about it. And being one with it, or trying to, or being around it, I find very rich. The last thing I'm going to do is complain in the world if I die. I got 10,000, 10 quadrillion cells in my body. And when I die, they all go out and they become leaves and trees and this little doggy here, and they become anything and going. They become stars eventually and whatnot. That doesn't give you everlasting life or anything. That doesn't give you a heaven or hell. So to me, it's how not to be aware. I don't say what the line is or what I should do. I just dive onto that line, and it's going to be a different line. And if I don't see it the next time around and whatnot, I'm just on, that changes, and suddenly you step back and you don't see anything. You say, ooh, that's the end of the painting. There's just so much input in a life. So much happens in any given hour if you're living, if you're aware of it. I find now in what we call in Spain, a tercera edad, the third age, good way to put it. And I'm thinking for the first time, I'm reminiscing for the first time. Haven't had time and didn't want to really. But the whole idea of this time is very, very good. And lots of stuff comes with the third age. I mean, you wake up and they're age and you're sleeping and you're up 10 times a night and all that. It's all nothing. You know, life changes. You look at a tree, a newborn aspen tree and whatnot, and take a look at it when it's ready to go. The bark and what's happened, or a leaf, it's the same stuff with us. It's no different. We're all a part of nature. We're all the same thing.